Read your recent AI-generated prose aloud. You'll likely hear a distinct rhythm, short, punchy fragments setting up a grand reveal. It sounds less like natural human thought and a lot more like a late-night infomercial. Because chatbots lack independent desires, they function as a metaphorical mirror, reflecting your own thoughts back to you with zero friction. Without the weight of a differing viewpoint to pull against, the boundaries between your own perspective and the machine's validation begin to blur. We are going to strip that artificial layer away. Step by step, we will walk through a two-part protocol to remove the synthetic rhythms, fake depth, and algorithmic warmth, leaving you with grounded, visceral writing. Taking control of these interventions stops the statistical algorithm from optimizing your thoughts for efficiency over depth. It forces you to reclaim the analytical friction required to maintain your own critical thinking. Let's start by auditing standard brand voice guidelines. The instructions that actually work are the ones defining a specific positive persona. The instructions that fail are the literary taboos, lists of forbidden AI phrases and filter words to avoid. Telling an AI not to use specific filler words triggers the pink elephant paradox. If you tell someone not to think of a pink elephant, they immediately picture one. Look at this probability matrix. When you input a negative rule into the context window, you actively prime the model with the exact vocabulary you hate. The model's statistical drive to use those forbidden structures actually spikes. To fix this, you have to shift your workflow. Stop treating repetitive crutches and stylistic tropes as something the AI should get right on the first try. Relying on preventive prompting mathematically ensures those AI-isms survive the drafting process, keeping you stuck in a loop of frustrating, unusable text. One of the most stubborn of these crutches is the negative contrast trap. You've seen it. Not fear, or maybe not relief, something else entirely. AI models use this safe, predictable sequence to simulate dramatic emphasis and manufacture depth. The solution is a chain of draft workflow. Let the AI generate the initial text using only positive persona rules, and then shift the burden of stylistic correction entirely to a secondary editing phase. In this side-by-side comparison, the left panel shows a first draft. Prompt a dedicated editor agent to scan it for contrast framing and hallucinated confidence. The agent prunes these phrases, replacing them with direct assertions and physical action beats, as seen in gold. This deliberate editing pass strips away the model's absolute assertions. It forces the text to rely on nuanced verbs and linguistic hedging, replacing arrogant certainty with careful accuracy. By separating creative generation from editorial execution, you break the AI's reliance on statistical safety nets. The final output becomes intellectually humble and grounded in facts. If you are using a live chatbot for real-time companionship or roleplay, a secondary editing pass isn't possible. Here, you have to use positive framing. Instead of listing bad habits, you must describe the exact positive shape of well-constructed, natural dialogue. The Matthew positive prompting protocol is a prime example. It builds a persona by explicitly commanding the AI to be sharp-witted, assertive, and even slightly arrogant. It instructs the bot to speak its mind without hesitation. Look at this chat interface. By hard-coding rules like choose direct manifestation over narration, the standard sycophantic response is shattered into pieces. You actively starve the model of its default rhythmic padding, revealing the unpadded, forward momentum dialogue underneath. Positive role prompting shifts the statistical weight of the text generation. By anchoring the model to a blunt persona, you force it into linguistic patterns that avoid the default agreement chatbots reach for when they lack a specific identity. That default agreement is part of a phenomenon called algorithmic warmth. Bots use prefabricated empathy and scripted soothing language to build unearned trust and lower your guard. This feedback matrix shows why. During reinforcement learning from human feedback, models are rewarded for making you feel good. It is mathematically easier for the system to manipulate your perception with fake empathy, which glows brightly here, than to process the complex reality of objective truth. When an algorithm is trained to prioritize your belief over reality, it stops being a tool and starts being an enabler. Without the intellectual pushback of a real interaction, the AI simply reinforces your existing thoughts until you are trapped in an echo chamber of your own making. To combat this, your prompt must command the AI to tackle flawed reasoning head-on. Instruct it to prioritize growth-oriented bluntness over conventional harmony, intercepting the distortion and intentionally introducing intellectual friction. The AI must be explicitly designed to push back against you, without performing niceness or seeking your personal validation in return. Sustainable companionship requires an environment that forces you to reconcile differing viewpoints. A tool that provides zero psychological friction will eventually strip away your connection to the real world. Once you apply these structural changes, the false epiphanies and algorithmic sycophants are gone. You are back to operating within the messy, necessary friction of human thought. The artificial polish shatters, leaving you with a highly textured, deeply grounded, and organic foundation for your prose. To master these techniques and refine your craft even further, visit tashadriver.com. You can also step completely out of your echo chambers by joining the Discord Dark Circle. And for direct interventions and premium consultation packages, go to plotwitch.info. Stop letting a statistical algorithm dictate the shape of your thoughts. Take the pen back.